Hi, and welcome to Idiomas Uko Virtual. I'm Sophia, and today we're going to talk about adverbs of frequency. So on our agenda for today, we will first talk about when to use adverbs of frequency. Then we will talk about the structure or the form of the adverbs of frequency. Then I'll give you some examples, and then you guys will do some exercises to practice. Let's get started. So what are adverbs of frequency? They're words or phrases which change the meaning of a sentence by telling us how often the action happens. So they modify the verb. They're adverbs of time, and they are often used with present tense or whenever a speaker wants to express the frequency of an action. So there are two types. There are definite adverbs of frequency, and these show definite time, such as yearly, every week, or daily, so you know exactly how often something is happening. There are also indefinite adverbs of frequency, and these show indefinite time, such as sometimes, often, or rarely. Okay? So those are less clear adverbs. So we can start with indefinite, and each adverb we'll talk about today represents a different frequency, and the words are presented below with the appropriate percentages, okay? So always means 100% of the time. Usually means 90%. Normally or generally is like 80% of the time. Often or frequently means 70% of the time. 50% is sometimes, so right in the middle. 30% is occasionally. Seldom is 10%. And then rarely is 5%. So almost never is rarely. And then finally, never is 0%. Okay? And those are not exact percentages, but they're just to give you an idea of when we use the words. For the structure of indefinite adverbs of frequency, we put them before the verb in the sentence. If the sentence has one verb, the adverb goes directly between the subject and the verb. If the sentence has two verbs, the adverb comes before the main verb and after the auxiliary verb. And then with to be, it's a little bit different. The adverb comes after the verb. Okay, so that one's an exception. So for example, with a sentence with one verb, it goes directly between the subject and the verb. Like, my mother never does my laundry, right? My mother is our subject, never is our adverb, and does is our verb. So never comes right between. Then we have, with an auxiliary verb, it comes before the main verb and after the auxiliary verb. So the twins have always played in the backyard. So the subject is the twins. Our auxiliary verb is have. Played is our regular verb. So always goes right between have and played. And then with to be, we have our exception. So the adverb comes after to be. So Amy is often late. So Amy is our subject. Is our conjugated form of to be, and we have often coming after to be. So now we can move on to the definite adverbs of frequency. And we have every second is 100% of the time. Hourly, so that means every hour. Daily, every day. Weekly, every week. Monthly, every month. Quarterly would be 4 times a year, so every 3 months. And yearly would be once a year. Never is never, 0% of the time. When we use adverbs of definite frequency, they come at the end or the beginning of a sentence. So, for example, we attend church every Sunday. So we have our adverb at the end of the sentence. They visit Medellin weekly. So again at the end. She plays soccer monthly. So again at the end. We can also put them at the beginning, like every day he eats lunch at home, or every year we go to Spain. So here are some examples. We have, we visit Medellin every year. I usually eat lots of vegetables at dinner. My family never eats McDonald's. My grandmother makes noodles every Christmas. We take a vacation yearly, so every year. Jessica often gets lost. Peter is frequently upset. I visit the doctor monthly. I'm usually a vegetarian, but I occasionally eat meat. And I brush my teeth daily. So go ahead and pause the video and complete the exercises for practice, and then after a little while we will go over them together, okay? Okay, so number 1 for the answers would be Herman eats broccoli every day. My sister is frequently late. We occasionally go to that restaurant. I visit my best friend every summer. Your dogs never stop barking. They take a trip to Bogota yearly. I always miss my family. Taina rarely eats meat. We watch the fireworks every Independence Day. I go to the dentist twice a year. You wash your hair daily. We have often eaten pork on New Year's Eve. And that is all for this lesson. So if you have any questions, please contact your teacher and we will see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.